What's up and welcome to Me, You, and Switch 2. I am me, Tom Tate, and you are you. So let's talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable 5 to 10 minute episodes. Today happens to be Tuesday, May 19th. This is episode 101. However, I'm actually recording this on Monday night. It's about 8:30 p.m. here on the East Coast. Hopefully we don't wake up to like a surprise Legend of Zelda Direct or something absolutely crazy. I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to do that. But I hope you had a great weekend. Quick shout out to the first wave of listeners who hopped on over to patreon.com/switch2pod to become free members over on Patreon. I'm working on the episode for what I'm calling Forever Free DLC, the first episode. This will cover my top 5 recommended games from the NES library on Nintendo Switch Online in the Nintendo Classics collection, along with some honorable mentions. I've got a few honorable mentions, and I've got 5 games that aren't on there that I really hope to see someday. Now, you can go emulate these games, but I just really think they deserve a place in this collection, so I'm going to share my 5 games that I hope to see added soon. It'll be a fun one. Each month I'll tackle another console library, so we'll kind of go in chronological order, I guess. That'll be free to download. There are no paid membership tiers over on patreon.com/switch2pod. Okay, not a lot of news to cover today, but let's just get right into it. First up, Nintendo will be at Gamescom in Germany at the end of August. They were there last year, so presumably we'll have a Nintendo Direct at some point over the summer to reveal some fall and holiday season games, and maybe those games will be playable or we'll get some additional details at Gamescom. We don't know what the lineup is going to be. They also had some third-party stuff last year too, so hopefully we'll get some good third-party reveals. I'm really excited for what the end of the year has to show for Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to third parties as well. One big release this week on other consoles is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Now, as of right now, it has an 84 Metacritic score, and that's based on 49 reviews, and this game will release on Friday, I believe. I won't go too deep into the reviews, but they are very solid. People are really enjoying this game. It covers most of Batman's history throughout various iterations of the franchise. Typical Lego game, lots of humor, lots of collectibles. I'm sure there's lots of different skins that you could find. It's coming out on Switch 2, so I'm not going to cover it this week because it's not really coming out on Switch 2 this week. It will release, but we don't know when. So it's in the Nintendo shop. You can favorite it, but you can't pre-order it yet, and they haven't announced a date. So I'm guessing it just needs more time to cook. I don't know why it would, though. It doesn't seem like a very taxing game, but we'll see. If you are a fan of Lego games, keep an eye on this one. I'll keep you posted when we get an actual release date. Now, there is one game that I am really looking forward to, and that is the Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. Now, this game will be out in June, roughly 30 days from today. I've got this one pre-ordered. It had a limited time demo back, I think it was last summer that we played this demo. I played through it. I had a lot of fun. It had a few flaws, but it sounds like they really listened to players and addressed a lot of the main issues that people had. So there have been a few hands-on previews that launched yesterday. A bunch of different outlets got to play an hour or two of this game, and I want to just highlight just a few things that I picked up on reading those articles, and I'll link to all of this in the show notes. Okay, so this isn't a Switch 2 exclusive. I'll note that. A lot of people were playing the PS5 version, I think, but it will come out on Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox, the whole nine. And while it isn't a Switch 2 exclusive, it kind of feels like a Nintendo exclusive to me, much in the same way that like Octopath Traveler felt when it first launched on Switch 1. Like it just feels like it is the spiritual successor to the Super Nintendo library. All the RPGs from Square that we played back in the day, it just feels like that type of successor. And that makes sense because this game is developed by Square Enix Team Asano, who is the team behind Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler. They did Triangle Strategy. This game happens to be a top-down HD 2D style game, much in the style of The Legend of Zelda, or that first Mana game on Game Boy, which was Final Fantasy Adventure, I think. So Polygon's Jen Glennon's preview title really got me hyped up for this release. It is titled, After 1 hour, Square Enix's new Zelda-like just became my most anticipated game of the summer. So that is a bold claim, bold statement. She wrote, the combat consists of gratifying hack and slash action similar to Square Enix's Mana series. In addition to the obvious sword and axe, I had access to an arsenal of weapons, including a hammer, boomerang, spear, bombs, and a bow. You'll engage enemies directly in the field. There are no separate battle screens or menus to navigate, and you can swap between your various weapons on the fly. I kind of remember playing the demo that was not easy to do or not an option, swapping between weapons. She also interviewed producer Nahufumi Matsushita and director Tomoya Asano. Hopefully I'm getting those pronunciations somewhat close to being right. The story has some time travel elements that sound a lot of fun. So here's a quick clip from that interview. I think it was Matsushita that said, the story takes place across the same land in different eras, with the lives of its people evolving from one period to the next. Through the doorway of time, Elliot travels back in time from the age of safekeeping, allowing him to witness and experience these changes firsthand. So there's the age of safekeeping, the age of reconstruction, the age of magic, and the age of budding. So there's, again, just like being able to experience the same world through these different eras. Kind of reminds me of Link to the Past, right? Where you go to the dark world for the first time. I love that. Like, I love that experience. Even Final Fantasy VI, right? World of Ruin. So they also call out how honored they are to receive the Zelda comparisons that they've been receiving, but they note that the Mana series was the true inspiration for them as they were developing the game. Steve Watts over at GameSpot penned another review or preview. He specifically noted some of the changes from the earlier demo. He wrote, Square Enix noted that this build of the game has incorporated some feedback from the public demo released last July, faster movement speed, a weapon shortcut menu, and a selection of difficulty levels. One thing I definitely didn't love about the demo, this is me speaking, not Steve, was how talkative the fairy companion was. I think her name was Faye. It was a bit annoying and distracting, and Steve actually mentions in his preview that there is now an option to change her chattiness setting. So I really hope that is a valid option because I definitely recall that playing through. At one point, Steve compared a dungeon experience to A Link to the Past, so say no more for me. Gabriel Zamora at PC Mag titled his preview, I'm completely hooked on the Adventures of Elliot, a love letter to SNES gaming. Nintendo Life's Jim Norman wrote, it's all so very Zelda-coded that if Tingle had cropped up in one of the rooms, I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But there's more to Elliot than mere imitation. While the puzzles and dungeon layouts themselves were immediately familiar, there's an unexpected depth under the surface. So again, I'll link to all these. Just overall, I am super stoked for this game myself. It'll be out here before you know it. I think Rebirth comes out before then, though. So I don't know. I'm a little conflicted. I don't know if I should start Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or just wait until I get this game, finish it, and then go back and play Rebirth because I already played that game. I need more time in a day to play all of these games in my backlog, and I'm sure you're feeling that pain too. Just another reminder of some of the big games releasing this week. R-Type Dimensions 3 launched today, and it looks like a lot of fun. Fast-paced, side-scrolling shoot-'em-up based on the classic series. And the next big Nintendo title, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, will hit Thursday, May 21st. Again, that'll be $60 digital, $70 physical. And I'm sure we'll be taking a look at reviews for that game on Friday. I'm expecting to see them start to roll out this week. I want to thank you as always for your time and your attention. A kind rating or review really helps me continue to grow the show, sharing with a family member, friend, community, Discord, subreddit, wherever you hang out with gamers goes even further. You can head on over to patreon.com/switch2pod. That's switch with the number 2 pod for all the bonus content that'll be arriving starting this month. Switch2pod.com for all the subscription links and all the things. Switch2pod on Instagram, Blue Sky. You know the deal. I hope that you have an awesome week. Hope you're able to make the most out of it. Much love. Now go play some games.